We weren't allowed to play war, all right? We're with the Christians.
Made my own clothes out of denim. It's fine. So welcome to
Perfect.
War
I'll
with
take
Friends.
this side. I'm left-handed, so.
Amazing. Well, I'm right.
You're amazing.
So when we arm wrestle at the end, and Tim Tebow, thank you for being on War with Friends.
Are you kidding? Of course.
Thank you for being my friend.
I am your friend.
And now
I'm honored to be your friend.
And now we're about to have war. So I
don't
understand
know-
you've
I
never
don't-
played war.
I don't know how to play
Is that a
war.
homeschool thing? That's not a jab.
We started out with jokes instantly. We weren't allowed to play war, all right? We're with the Christians.
Made my own clothes out of denim. It's fine. It's great. So basically, war is high card wins. Wolverine.
Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
If you're a boy, I feel like that's just instantly, you know?
Okay, so split the deck.
Are you so
just
serious?
half and half, 50-50. Whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly even.
I gave you more. Generous, all right?
Like
Generosity,
Jesus.
given will be given to
Totally
you.
like Christ. It's great. So I think that's about right. Okay, great. There's your cards. That's my card. So basically, war is high card wins.
Okay, so we just put down one.
Yeah, we both put down one. Watch this.
Boom.
And that one, I won. And the
Generous,
goal
I told you.
is to take the whole deck.
Okay.
Okay. And along the way,
So
we'll
really,
play.
there's no skill.
There's honestly not any skill. It's
Yeah.
all luck of the draw.
I get why you love it.
The trick, and if we have a tie, then the way you break a tie is you go like this. So let's imagine we had a tie here.
Perfect,
You
yeah.
would go I, D,
D,
Claire,
a thumb war.
war. And then you win them all because you would be 7.
Yeah,
See how
thank
that
you.
works?
Yeah.
So let's just call that you. Does that work?
No, you take yours. I don't want yours.
I like what a good sport
winning.
you are. Sporting. So, and then along the way we talk life, we talk leadership. What's new in your life? It's Black Friday
Gosh, I
when
lost
we're
the
airing
first
this.
You kidding me? Thanksgiving.
Perfect chance to plug your brand new clothing line.
Yeah, we're so excited about Believe. Believe in the mission. We're just believers in it because we want people to be believers in their life. You know, we came up, our foundation this past year, gosh, I hate losing. We came up with our non-negotiables of who we wanted to be, of what we wanted to represent. And the number one thing out of all of it was we want to be believers.
There you go.
We want to be believers in a big God. We want to be believers in people. We want to be believers we can create change. And so that's why it's something that means so much to me.
Where can
we want to be
people
believers.
get the Believe clothing line?
The website, Tim Tebow.
TimTebow.com.
Yeah,
I like the logo.
Thank
TT
you.
across in the center.
Well, we want people to understand that it's never about us. It's always about the cross
That's
and what it
amazing.
represents.
Hello. And that's really what you've built your life standing on. Now, you grew up in the Philippines.
Yes.
One of 5 kids. And
Baby of 5 kids.
baby of 5
Yes.
kids.
It's different.
So we need
That means
advice
you had to
for my
scrap.
son Lennox, who is the 5th child. And
Yes. It might be a little bit harder, Linux, but it's also you're going to get tougher faster and get to do what they are doing or at an earlier age.
okay,
I loved being the baby.
spoiled a little bit.
I think they would say
your
I was
parents-
spoiled. I would say I had to work harder.
Were your parents worn down by then? Because I felt
Oh,
a
yeah,
little bit
totally.
tired. Yeah,
No doubt.
In that, you get your experimentation on your oldest kid. Your youngest kid, you're just like, do what you want to do. Just don't bother me. That's very good. Now, when you think back on your career sporting in football and in baseball, there's been some injuries along the way.
Oh, yeah.
I understand you played a whole season with a broken fibula.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, no, fibula is your leg.
Oh, sorry, I meant tibia. So
yeah.
it was fibula.
Fibula. I played a game with a broken fibula.
Oh, not
yeah.
compound, I hope.
No, but you know what? The one of the interesting parts about it was
Like me pointing to like bones that aren't right. Like
Yeah,
you broke your rib cage.
you broke your sternum.
It's really tough with that femur broken.
So we were
How
playing
did
the
it
game.
break?
A guy went low, and I was throwing and
When they go
planning
low,
on it.
we
He
go
hit-
high.
Yeah, and he hit it, and
he went
I
low.
fell over it, and it broke. But
Did you think it was bad? Did it hurt right away?
yes, it hurt a lot, and I ran to the sidelines, and we were losing 17-0. And my head coach looked at me and he said, "This is what champions are made of." And he thought
straight from Central.
a tie.
This straight from
It's a
Central.
tie.
Yeah, but straight from Central Casting. This is what champions are made of, son. Get back in there. Okay.
What do we do now?
I, D, Claire.
Yes.
That's all you. This is what champions are made of.
So I go back on the field, and we come back and we tie the game at 24-24, and I dive into the end zone. And when I dive into the end zone, I had this run with a broken leg, and the safety that I hit broke his leg on the play. Stop. So we were both laying there in the end zone.
Did it cancel each other's broken legs out?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We were both laying there with broken legs.
Writhing in agony.
And then they kicked a field goal to win. Gosh!
Ooh, so you lost.
Still hurts.
Too soon.
We lost.
Can't be bringing that up.
No, that's fine, Levi.
And then some rib injuries recently.
You've had
arm,
a lot playing football.
pinky.
Yeah,
what's
all
been
of it.
out of all that? What's the most painful injury you sustained?
Let's talk about your worst day for a second.
I broke my femur in a snowmobile accident. Snapped it right in half over the handlebars.
Her femurs were really
almost
painful.
bled out in the snow. Yeah, it was terrible.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Sad face.
Most painful injury. I'll tell you the one that was probably the scariest is when I got put to sleep against Kentucky.
Oof.
And I don't remember anything till I was in the hospital. And they're
That's
saying, it's okay,
right.
roll over. And I was like, roll over where? I didn't know where I was. And I was rolling over into the CAT scan.
Beat that sucker.
I can't.
Kindness. Kindness is what you've always liked about me.
That's right.
But now look where we've come. All right.
What's new at the church? Fresh Life. Tell me.
Yeah, well, we're really excited about the church in the prison in Deer Lodge. And
I love it. I think it's so cool,
I know that's been in your heart and your story.
It is. I love you telling me about that, and I think it is so cool.
Yeah, man, that's been great.
And why did you choose to do that?
You know, I mean, Jesus said, this is the trueness of the gospel, is preach the gospel to those in prison. And so, I mean, obviously the people imprisoned by sin is all of us, but in the literal sense of the word, there's people who feel like society has rejected them, their best days are behind them. And so God just broke, God breaks your heart for stuff.
That's right.
Right? I mean, it's like, and when he does, you have to choose to act, because when he breaks your heart, I believe it's God's way of saying, that one's for you.
It's what I want you to do.
Right? So like Night to Shine, how did that come about?
It started because when I was 15, I met a boy with his feet on backwards, and his whole village viewed him as cursed, as less than, as insignificant. And God broke my heart for him. And
that was in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, and to be able to fight for people like him. And so now everything that we do is about fighting for people that can't fight for themselves. Our mission statement is to literally bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need. And so we want to do it in any way possible for the least, the last, and the lost, the people that are hurting, the people that have been forgotten, the people that everybody else wants to say, you're no good, you're castaways, you're less than. So we want to fight for the orphan, we want to fight for the special needs, we want to fight for life for people in every way that we can.
My gosh. I feel like I need to just get up and run around for a second. I'm so inspired by what you just said. Is that okay?
Is your femur okay?
Yes, thank you. How's your tibia doing?
It's fibula.
No, I know, but I'm asking about your tibia.
Yeah, tibia is great.
Yeah, all right, making sure.
My tibia.
Bro, that's incredible.
But you're part of Night to Shine this year. Let's go.
We're excited. Thank you. We're very excited.
No, we're
shout
so
out
honored.
Fresh Life Bozeman putting on Night to Shine.
Bozeman, let's go. Night to Shine, my favorite night of the year. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Where can people go if they want more information on Night to Shine?
TimTebowFoundation.org.
Amazing.
Find anything you want.
If there's one person in the world who is watching who hasn't heard of it, this is basically a prom for people with special needs.
Yeah, Night to Shine is a worldwide prom for people with special needs. I believe that a lot of us, we've had chances in our lives to be cheered for, to be clapped for, to be celebrated, and how encouraging that is. But a lot of people with special needs, they've never had that opportunity. They've never had that moment. And so for every single one of our Night to Shines, which is over 700 of them around the world in all 50 states and over 30 countries, that every single one of them has a red carpet. They're going to be cheered on it. And every single one of these kids is going to be crowned as the king or the queen of the prom, because we believe that's how the God of this universe sees them every single day of their life, because they have worth, they have value, they have meaning. And for us, we believe that when someone realizes for the first time in their life that they're valuable, that they're here on purpose, and that they're important and God loves them just the way they are, it changes a life. It changes your identity when you finally realize, I am valuable just the way I am. And we believe Night to Shine does that.
You know what you remind me of? You remind me of Captain America for Jesus. I was just going to say that. It's like watching you speak, I mean, just honestly, your heartstrings get pulled, but like the biceps don't hurt. Do you have a shield? Because...
No shield. Oh, right. I guess the shield of faith. Oh.
Okay, this is where it's going. Okay, shifting gears here. Even Tim Tebow has dark moments.
Of course.
Hard days.
Yeah.
In your most discouraged, moments, I'm sure in the NFL career, just some days where you just feel like, come on, what the heck?
Yeah.
What do you do to pull yourself out of those hard days?
Well, I don't think that it's about us trying to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. I think it's about remembering God's promises and His words. And for me, I love to write them down and list them and go over them and speak them back out, all of God's promises. So
so what would be one that encourages you?
I'm a child of God, a son of the King of the world who will forever reign. And I remember one game I was so nervous and just pressure, and I would keep saying it to myself over and over and over again. Remember who my dad is.
Yeah, wow.
You know, and remember what we're called to do and say it. And so, you know, when fear creeps in, when doubt creeps in, when bad days, when guilt, when shames, when you do something wrong and you know you've done something wrong, remember, God doesn't view me from my wrong. He views me from His Son.
Great.
And He sees that, and He looks at me and sees righteousness because of what Jesus did, His blood on the cross. And so we got to remember that. And we put that on ourselves, but remember, that's not how God sees us, you know? And so we want to be able to take God's word and His promises and remember them and say them over and over and over again. And there's something special about it when you do that. Yeah. And for me, sometimes it's just been in those moments where I couldn't do anything but remember God's promises and remind myself and go over them. And that's one way that has been really encouraging to me when you're in those moments and you're in those times.
And obviously the right thing to say is we don't pull ourselves out, Jesus pulls us out. But there's still things you just mentioned that you specifically do.
Choices you make.
And a lot of people in those moments become hostage to their feelings.
Yeah.
And I know for me it's easy to get swept up in how I'm feeling and allow those things to overtake me, but you're choosing to recite verses you've memorized. You're choosing to focus your thinking. And I've heard you talk about when you would come out of the tunnel on the big games, you didn't allow yourself to stare up at the crowds. You stayed laser focused on what you did, and very similar in those days to how you get up on a dark day, right?
I think it's so important. I think pressure hits you when you're trying to sit back and view the magnitude of something. Yeah. Pressure doesn't hit you just in the task on which you're trying to accomplish. And so for me in games, I would try to focus on just the task, the smallest, the easiest, the thing that I've done over and over and over again. And
you were big on routines and
big on being able to focus on that. And so if I have a 2-minute drive against the best defense in the NFL, and I sit back and I think about it, and I say, oh my gosh, I have to score a touchdown, and look at these defensive linemen, they're 325 pounds, and if I don't do it, the whole country's going to boo me, and if I do it, they're going to praise me, and all this pressure in the back and forth. No. Instead of doing that, if I have a skinny post, I'm going to look the safety off, I'm going to take a rocker 3, I'm going to hit my back foot, and I'm going to plan it. I'm going to do what I've done over and over again. So I view the smallest task, I view the next thing. And so in life, when life hits you and you're thinking, I want to have purpose, I don't have meaning, I want to have all of this stuff, and that can weigh you down, and what choices do I make, and what if I screw up, and what if I make the wrong? Instead of viewing it that way, I'm going to just go find the nearest person, I'm going to go help them. Yeah. So break it down into a task, into a little thing, into
the next thing you need to do.
The next thing you need to do.
Yeah.
And
there's only been one person who's cheated on the show and didn't got to the end.
That was you?
Carl Lentz. He admitted it at the very end, but he was cheating.
Was he trying or was it accident?
He kept playing an ace from the bottom of the deck over and over again. No, he was very much trying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That boy, Carl.
I don't mean to throw him under the bus now, but it is on the internet.
But you did.
It's public record. but you did. But what you're saying is so important because it's those tiny things repeated over and over again that leads to the enormous of everyone was. It was kind of like Jesus in the wilderness temptation. Yeah. He pulled out scripture. He did those things. He stuck to the plan. In Garden of Gethsemane, same thing. Recalled the Father, stuck to the plan, little things over and over again, prayers like he always did.
But I think sometimes people in their everyday, they think, okay, that's what Jesus did, but what do I do? Yeah, you know, how do I have meaning? How do I have purpose? How do I have significance? I go to church and I hear Levi talk about all these things, but how do I break it down into practical? Yeah. And young people ask me a lot of times, hey, how do I know what my calling is? How do I know what I'm supposed to do? And first of all, I'll say to them, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But
I'm not the genie in the lamp for you.
But if I could give you just a thought on something is, have you ever been somewhere and you've seen somebody hurting and you've seen somebody that needed help, and have you ever felt empathy for them? Have you ever thought, oh man, I have a heartstring for that person, for that group, for that disability, for that person on the side of the street that's holding out their hat for some money? Have you ever felt that? And I would say maybe that was God pricking your heart and opening your eyes so that you would be the person to go meet that need.
Yeah, wow.
And just start by meeting that need. Just start by going and talking to that person outside the coffee shop. Start by just going up and hugging that person, saying, can I do anything for you? You know, I really think God loves you, and I just want to be able to help you. Anything I can do for you.
So you're saying greatness starts in small, unseen ways.
I think so, but I also think it starts when we choose to just try to help someone, and then I think God will open more and more doors. But I think we also need to live in that practical of just choosing the best interest of someone and acting on their behalf.
Yeah, it's
just
amazing.
choosing to love someone, find. There's so many hurting people around us. It's not going to be hard. You can find them.
Yeah, that's it. That's amazing. And it's amazing how when you focus on someone else instead of yourself, it really does cheer you up.
Oh, it changes
I mean, it gives
everything.
you a lift.
I have a mandate with some of my friends that when something bad happens, like when I get cut from a team or I get traded or something,
Yep.
that when I get back into town, the first thing we do is we go to a hospital or we go to a refuge for people who have been going through tough times, and we go minister.
Yeah.
Because the greatest way to take the greatest way to have peace is to take the focus off yourself and to be able to love someone else. And I believe that's just a biblical principle that when we give, we actually get more. And it's why I love
And that's
young
not
people
just a
going
fortune
out.
cookie. That's like
No.
science, right?
But that's why I love young people when they go on mission trips. Even when they don't even know what they're getting into and they realize, wow, I just gave, but I'm so fulfilled. I feel so filled up. I feel so blessed. It's because it's not necessarily our principles here on earth, but it's God's economy, and there's something different about it.
Yeah, wow.
And
It's incredible.
it's pretty incredible to see a young person do that for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, and really feel.
Well, your
that.
eyes open
You're
to
so
a bigger
inspired,
world.
and
Your eyes open to a bigger world too.
they do.
Yeah.
In the real world.
Yeah.
All the people hurting in it.
Yep. Man. So you're getting married this year.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting.
It is
Well,
exciting.
2020.
Well, I'm excited about it.
Heck yeah. What are you most excited about starting a family and all that?
I think, gosh, it's hard to just name one thing. I would say being able to have every day with my best friend.
Yeah, right.
I would say being able to have the chance to start a family. I would say that the joy of having someone that you always want to be better for, that you want to do better, that you want to be a better man so she has a husband she could be proud of.
It's awesome.
I think there's just so many things like that just are inspiring and encouraging and challenging, which I think all are good.
What part of domestic life are you most nervous about?
Putting my dishes away?
That's not so bad. It takes care of itself. Someone will
She
do it.
also doesn't like, sometimes I bite my fingernails, especially when I'm like studying for a sermon or something.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't like it.
That'll be all right. It'll work itself out.
Tell her that.
It really will. That stuff, it's funny, like, although, you know, it seems like the worst. Oh, here we go. I, D, Claire, 4. That's a pretty good high card. Yeah. I'm only speaking for 15 years of marriage experience, so it's not like I'm like 50-year vet or anything. But it does seem like the biggest fights come from the smallest things. The big stuff you agree on, or you wouldn't have gotten married.
Yeah.
It is those little
No
things, this little small purchase, or didn't check with you on this.
What's a big fight that came from something little in your life? Not to get personal.
Yeah, not to open you up on the internet, but I think a lot of times it's money, or it's
like, why did you pay so much for this or something?
Yeah, or didn't check with you, didn't, you know, just or selfish or whatever. I think another big thing for us is when I'm in a hurry or wanting to rush her through something, because, you know, like girls, they say girls are like spaghetti and guys are like waffles. Right? Have you heard this?
No.
Okay, so waffles have these little zones.
I don't eat either. A lot of carbs.
World's worst example. So it's like women are like can you have an eggplant pasta? Women are like eggplant. What do they make pasta out of?
What are we talking
what's like
about?
a keto pasta you do?
Like spaghetti or squash.
Squash spaghetti.
Yeah.
Women are like squash spaghetti, and men are like keto waffles. Is there a keto waffle?
Yes, you actually can make them. They're not bad.
There you go. That's a good question. Sidebar. What's your favorite keto recipe?
Oh, dude, that's hard. There's some good ones. There's some pretty good keto ice cream. There's good.
And you can take like an inhibitor to allow you a little bit of luxury, right?
A what?
Isn't there something you talked about that you can take that allows a little bit of food to not digest if you have it?
There's some things that help, like
Powders and stuff.
BHB and stuff like that, ketones and stuff that help. But no, I'm not really that person.
I heard
that
they
tries to cheat,
mess your breath up.
I'm trying to think what else. There's some really good cupcakes now. Keto, really dark chocolate.
Keto
I love
cupcake.
full dark, like 100% dark chocolate.
Okay. What's the number one indulgence you miss life after keto? Like if you're going to go down.
Mom's either Rice Krispie ice cream pie.
Yeah.
Or her pizza pie.
Okay.
Both fantastic.
Do you dream about them?
I do not dream about them.
No. Was there a day? Because I'm sure it's now just like ingrained in you.
It is. It's so ingrained.
Do you not do a cheat day?
I do not do cheat days.
7 days.
No, it's my mind actually won't let me go there because I feel like
at this point you probably get sick.
Well, this day, why is this a good day to not try to be my best? I mean, I feel driven in that way that honestly, it's not like I'm trying to.
Captain America for Jesus, folks.
Say a cliche, but it's like, you know what? I never wanted to wake up and say, okay, this is the day to take it easy. This is the day that doesn't matter. This is the day that, that I can have a cheat day so I can get worse today. No, I just didn't want it to be a book. I want it to be my life that every day, and it's not going to be good, you're going to have bad days, but every day you're trying to live each day on purpose as if it matters because it does, as if there's significance in that day, as if there's something you can do on this day. That's why I named my last book, This is the Day, because every morning I wanted to wake up and I didn't want it to be alarm that woke me up. I wanted it to be life and purpose and passion and meaning and to be able to truly feel that, to live that way. And I believe we don't always feel that way. That's why we have to choose it. That's why we have to choose. We don't always feel like waking up and having purpose, passion, and meaning, and truly going to out. Because some days we feel tired, we feel lethargic, we feel like we don't want to do anything. But that's when
even on that day, that's
when we get to choose it. When we get to choose our convictions. That's when we get to choose what matters. And
all right, I'm changing my diet tomorrow. I'll tell you what, today. This is the day.
Yeah.
Okay,
then call it change tomorrow.
Change tomorrow. Back to what's that Nike commercial? Yesterday you said tomorrow, right? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so spaghetti and waffles. Waffles, when the sugar and butter and syrup's in the zone, it's in its own little zone. Nothing connects to each other's zone, so it's all its own little compartment. Whereas spaghetti, it's all intermesh. Okay.
Okay.
So for a guy, a guy can have had a tough day at work. Mm-hmm. Not on good terms with one of my friends. I'm one of his friends, getting traffic, getting wrecked, da-da-da. But then it comes to sex, it's like, what's the problem? Sex, great.
Just compartmentalize
are you having a great, terrible day? Yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Yeah.
Whereas a girl, it may be like, I had an issue this morning and it's completely connected to this. And why are you mad about that? It's over here. But it's all connected.
Yeah.
Whereas guys, it's all compartmentalized. So fights for me and Jenny, probably at my worst is when I'm wanting her to hurry through something. I just need to listen. Or I'm trying to fix something where she just wants me to go, hey, I care.
Yeah. And you know what? I am someone that kind of can compartmentalize pretty well. Just
I'd imagine.
Do this or task or put this aside. Nope, here we go.
Problems to be solved.
Yeah.
And they're not problems to be solved. They're people to be loved and listened to and cared about. And
what's your love language?
Me? I don't know. Do you know your love language?
You didn't go through the 5?
I read the book. I feel when I take those tests, I mean, like, do you do Enneagram?
Who?
Have you done Have you done the Enneagram thing?
What is that? No.
It's a personality test assessment. Have you done
I've
Strength
done
Finders or Myers-Briggs?
Yes.
So what would you be on Myers-Briggs?
We've done three or four of the different ones. And I honestly don't remember what I am on all of them. But by far on the love languages, it's what I like to do is physical touch and gifts. I like to give gifts.
Yeah, I see. I like to give gifts too.
You're a good gift giver, man. I gotta tell you, you really are.
Hey, appreciate that.
I know.
Well, you've affirmed me. Maybe I have words of affirmation. Yeah. Lush. Oh, that's great. So, how about your fiance? What's Demi?
Acts of service and quality time.
Okay, so got to sync those two up.
Yeah. Oh, she also likes words of affirmation too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's fantastic. Do you guys want to have kids right away? Have you talked about it? Is that way up in the future?
I think it's in the future. I think it's something we'll have to talk about and have a.
This isn't the time to announce
Should
that.
I discuss it with you first?
Yeah. My wife and I planned 5 years. We're like, let's be married 5 years. Let's just travel the world a little bit, see some things. Got married first year. Got pregnant first year of marriage, and so God had a different plan. But it's been such a fun ride. We were young parents, and then we had 4, and then we were done. And then now we're old parents too. So that's going to be great.
But you're good parents.
Hey, thank you very much.
Matters.
What was the best thing you learned from your parents that you want to act on as you become a parent?
It's so easy. For my dad, by far, it was that he he showed us how much the Great Commission mattered to him, and that he was so driven for the cause of Christ and sharing with people and helping people that could literally never do anything for him. And you'd see him move to a country he had only been to once, take 4 kids, and then give to so many people that could never do anything for him. And you would wake up every day, and I would see my dad reading the Bible at the head of the table every morning. And it wasn't an act, it was real. And you could see that passion, and it just couldn't help but have it be contagious and want to be like Dad.
Yeah, wow.
And then for my mom, she would always tell us, sweetness of speech increases persuasiveness. And you'd see how kind she was in the way she talked to people, and people that were even rude to her over and over and over again. And it was just, by far, there's 2 things that come to mind from each one of them.
That's amazing.
Easy.
Similar for me. My dad, same thing, which, by the way, he told me to tell you, as a lifelong Broncos fan, that the glory of God departed from Mile High after you left. So.
Well, no, they won the Super Bowl a couple years after.
Yeah, but he's saying the glory of God, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I guess he's not right, so. I mean, he's just a fan.
But tell him I said hey, though.
I sure will. Let me ask you this question. How do you deal with criticism? How do you deal with people talking crap? How do you deal with those naysayers?
For a long time, I don't think I dealt with it very well. I felt like I let it really affect me.
Would you mean like you'd be on YouTube looking at comments? Or?
No, I've never done a lot of that. But it was, I was that person that, just the way I'm wired, the way I was born, I'm a people pleaser. Yeah. I wanted to make people smile. I want to make people laugh. I want to have people to like me. I want people to get along. Just all of those things. I want everyone in the room to be having a good time and smiling and laughing. That's why I love Thanksgiving and Christmas so much.
Sure.
I was always a people pleaser that much. And then when I got to college and there would start to be a lot of criticism and you would deal with these things, I would just think, but if they, there's
you had a
king,
king.
there,
You
right?
had a king.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if they just knew me, if I could just explain it to them, if I could just share with them.
Like genuinely shocked that they don't like you, yeah.
No, but it was like, if they just knew my heart about something, it could be the silliest thing. And then a couple of things. One, some of God's word really hit me, like John 16:33. For me, you have peace in the world, you have tribulation to take heart. I have overcome the world. That was a promise that I really held on to. And then it's also reading a book and by Winston
Churchill.
Churchill.
Was it? Oh.
I won't remember the name of it. But
by Churchill.
Yeah. And he talked about one of his favorite quotes, or shared one of them in there, is if you have enemies good, it means you stood for something at least once in your life. And you know what? So many times we're so afraid to have enemies and to have negative things. And then I realized, you know what? I would rather have people respect me than like me.
Yeah, good.
Because there's a big difference.
Yeah, right.
And so I kind of tried to change my view, but it's not the natural way that which I think and act. So I kind of have to train myself to view it differently, because my natural instinct is I want people to like me.
Yeah.
And but then I had to really adjust. Done?
We have a couple little mini games. This game's been fantastic. You were saying, sorry.
No.
You want people to like you, but realizing
people to like me, but I realized that when you stand for something, people aren't. Not all people are going to like you.
And that's a tough lesson to learn, isn't it?
It is, but I also realized that it's worth it.
Yeah, great.
It's worth it when you make a stand, especially for Jesus, especially for what you feel, for what you're convicted by, and your beliefs. And you will have persecution when you stand for Jesus, but I also believe that it is so worth it. It's more worth it than anything else you could do in your life, is to take a stand for Jesus.
Yeah, wow. But the goal isn't a popularity contest of life, to make everyone like you. It's to be faithful, right?
It's to be faithful and to use what God has given you and to be able to give it back to Him and use it in whatever way. And that is the good and the bad. And sometimes we don't really realize that. Yeah. But it's in the highs and it's in the lows. It's in the good moments. It's in the moments when you win championships or Heisman. But it's also in the moments where you're cut and you're told you're not good enough. And at first I thought, well, God, I thought I was going to win like 7 Super Bowls. I thought we were going to do all these things. And then He taught me so much through the lows. Well, no. Your testimony is only going to be stronger through these lows. But how are we going to use it? But then you'd see it over and over again. And, I got a platform from the highest, but I feel like I had relationship through the lows, because so many people could relate to what I was going through, because most of the world has been told at points, you're not good enough, you can't, you won't, you shouldn't.
Do you miss football?
Sometimes, of course, I love it.
Yeah.
Mostly at like Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, playoff time.
Does the energy of baseball at its highest compare with it's such a different pacing of a game?
Not in one game. But the thing about baseball is you get a lot of games.
Right.
So in one game, no. In one game, it's a playoff game or a championship. Not in one game.
Yeah.
But then you get a lot of them. So you don't have the peaks and the valleys in baseball that you really do in football. You shouldn't.
Yeah. Right.
More steady Eddie.
Hey, before we do our little mini games, this has been amazing, brother. Love talking to you.
It was incredible.
Hey, listen, and honestly, I know so many of us, I speak for those watching, just inspired by you and really grateful for what you stood for and just the discipline and the integrity that you've lived out in relationships, in your honoring God, in sport, in leadership, and in so many ways. You really are a positive role model. And I genuinely mean that. And so on behalf of so many who respect you and look up to you, thanks for being who you are.
Well, thank you. I just, I'm grateful for you, for our friendship, for our relationship. And, I'm grateful for a God that loves us despite us.
Yeah.
And despite our flaws. And he still chooses to let us be part of his team.
Come on now.
And just so grateful for that. And it's just always been a goal of mine is don't want to point people to me or don't want to point people to you. You want to point people to Jesus. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to be able to soak up people's views. We want to reflect them to Jesus.
So good.
And I just am grateful that, the way that you've done that, the way that you've led your church and how much it's grown and the lives you've impacted. And just from the first time I got to hear you preach a few years ago, and I'm just grateful for your ministry and that you've done such a good job to and also using your highs and lows and some of the lows that God has taken you through, but how you've used that to truly change so many lives.
Bro, incredible. Favorite music to listen to in the gym?
Country Christian, I'll throw it old school, Johnny Cash or Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
I'm not someone that, I don't need a lot of hyper.
Didn't see that coming.
Like,
okay, so you're not needing that.
I don't know.
You have
I
that
don't
in
need
here.
I don't need the rah. Sometimes the drummer just gets annoying, you know? Like I just like having that kind of inner drive rather than like an outward. I don't need
so
it.
I take it you don't take pre-workout then. This isn't.
Not sometimes a bulletproof coffee.
Yeah,
I like the bulletproofs.
Yeah, right on. Least favorite thing to do in the gym?
Oof, that's a really good question. Least favorite thing to do in the gym.
When you see it on your day that you're
buys and tries.
Really?
Buys and tries not because they're my least favorite thing, is because when other people watch you, they're like, oh, he's just a guy doing buys and tries, You never want to be that person that's in there like just doing buys and tries, It's like, you're like, oh, that person's doing legs. That's good, Like they're getting it.
What will you put on the TV when you're doing cardio?
Sermons, podcasts, different people I like to listen to.
Favorite podcast, non-church?
Does Ravi count? Zacharias? I just listen to his old stuff, like his apologetics. I love it, though. Ravi's incredible.
Ravi's a beast.
He is. He's a beast.
Shout out Ravi Zacharias. Listen to him. How about non-Jesus, like podcasts that's just whatever, business or this, that, the other?
I'll just because I'm try to get so up in sports, I'll just watch it and try to hear what other people's their points of view for like college football, the playoffs, whatever. And so I try to listen to just whatever kind of the people are saying about certain things.
Last show you binged on Netflix?
I just watched the documentary this past week of Paradise City. Is the city in Paradise, California that burned down. Yeah. And it's a really
devastating fire.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think 85 people lost their life, 1,000 homes burned down. And it's a really good documentary, but it's really hard. And we just watched that last week. So
tough to watch.
Tough to watch.
Absolutely. Number one app on your phone that is not native to the iPhone that you've had to download or whatever that you couldn't live without?
Goodness, that's a good one. I get you're good at this interview game. Number one, Lumosity.
What is it?
Lumosity?
Never
It's
heard
all
of
the,
it.
like the brain games and stuff.
Okay.
It's
I don't have
good.
it.
It's like, so if I'm
I don't
on-
like games though of any kind.
No, but it's
Is it like Sugar Crush or whatever?
No,
Candy Crush?
No. It's actually good for your brain. So there's different.
Lumosity.
Yeah, lumosity. So you do it, and it's like if you want to work on math or this or something, and so it's to keep your brain fresh and to be thinking and to keep developing your brain. So it's kind of fun. They're fun games, but they also are challenging, and so it's actually a good thing to do. It's not like just warping your mind. It's good. You got to try it.
Song that comes on that you cannot help but dance to.
Can I say "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift?
I think you should.
I mean, it's obviously catchy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is. That's a catchy one. Miley Cyrus, "Party in the USA."
Very good.
No, I would say honestly, I love Garth Brooks. Love all of his stuff. Baton Rouge, it's really good. If you've ever been in an LSU game and they play Baton Rouge,
it's a thing.
It's crazy.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Top worship song to belt in the shower. Or do you sing in the shower?
Zach Williams, Chain Breakers.
Oh, absolutely.
So good.
Very
It's
good.
so good.
Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. All right.
Torrin Wells. I also love Torrin Wells too. Like
Bro,
Known.
Yes.
That's a
Phenomenal.
good one. My voice is similar.
Yeah,
to his,
right. Yeah.
So works.
Just a few octaves apart.
Yeah.
They're in the somewhere.
That's all.
All right. We did a little deep dive in your social medias, and we picked a few images that we felt like needed a clarification on. You're just
Perfect.
like wondering what's going on here.
I'm saving the puppies. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you're coming out of a fire, it looks
Yes.
like.
Yeah. I mean, are you kidding me? Who wouldn't go into a fire to save these puppies?
It's 100% true. Is this a commercial? What was this?
It was a T-Mobile Super Bowl commercial where I didn't have a job at the time, so it was no contracts. That a theme of no contracts. Contracts hold you back.
Gotcha.
And so it was
T-Mobile.
all the things I could do with no contract.
Clever.
And so it was
Save
a bunch of
puppies
things.
from a burning
Save
building.
puppies from a burning building.
What's going on here, buddy?
That was for a Nissan commercial, for the Heisman House, and it was me and Danny Werfel doing a rap video.
Very
First
good.
of all, freaking yeah,
You're
like
crushing
it.
that vest.
If I was a rapper, that would be a.
Since you are a
What
rapper,
would be my name though?
T-Bizzle. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going
Look
with.
at that fit. We see that chain.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's a good fit too.
That was a church play where I was a sailor.
Yeah, you see
With
it.
my mom.
It's your mama?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, that was a goat standing on my shoulders. We were doing
Goat with a goat.
we were doing goat. We
This
were
is two
doing
goats.
goat yoga.
Oh,
I'd
sure.
never heard it before that, but we were at Vanderbilt for Vanderbilt Georgia game, and they have this goat yoga thing. So you literally are doing yoga poses, and goats jump from everyone's back.
Okay.
And so then I just stood up, and the goat stayed on my shoulder.
I like it. Favorite NFL stadium you've ever played in? Just vibe.
Well, I'd probably be partial to Mile High, but also Kansas City. The Chiefs, their fans are nuts, are awesome, so passionate.
That's the tomahawk chop,
Yeah,
right?
Seattle, I get crazy too in Seattle.
What's the most annoying fan base in the NFL?
Oof.
In their chant or just those, their fans.
You know, I used to be one growing up, but Cowboys fans are pretty passionate. They always think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They think they're the nation,
Yeah.
America's team.
I mean, they kind of are though. A lot of them.
Yeah, well, there you
and
go.
They do love their team. I love their passion, but they do always think they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, last game.
But
We've come
Emmitt
to the
Smith
end.
was my
We
favorite
called it
player.
off because, man, we was just dragging on. We were having such an equal game. We would have been here all day. It's been a great conversation. The last game is one in which we need safety first. So reach under your.
Can't drop the grenade.
If you reach, I didn't drop it. Reach under your table. You see a helmet.
Yeah.
You can put the spade out front. Spade's right here. You don't put a strap under you unless you really want to.
I want to. Nope, I can't.
That's not happening.
Yep.
All right, so safety first, got the helmets on. Now we have to maintain eye contact. We're going to bring in our prop. So this box is going to come out. We're staring at each other. Don't look anywhere in. Everyone on YouTube and Instagram and wherever else this is can see what's in this box, but we can't.
Okay.
On the count of three, our right hands, or your left hand,
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Right. I don't care.
are going to go in, and without seeing, we're going to try and guess what we're touching.
Okay. Not now yet.
No. On the
Okay.
count of three.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
Those are your hands.
very smelly.
What the heck is this? Oh, it's.
Oh, I don't know what it is. Is it brain?
I don't know.
Squash? It's very
disgusting.
slimy. It smells too, right?
Horrible.
Make a guess. Cow poop?
No, you wouldn't do that to me.
I don't have it. I don't know what it is. It's my team.
Your team wouldn't do that to me.
Oh, it's so smelly. Can you smell that?
This is like moose poop.
Let's look. Here we go. Let's look. Oh gosh. Ah. What is it?
Not your normal nachos.
Not your normal nachos.
That
What's in
really
them?
wasn't that bad.
Pork rinds, sardines, cheese whiz, chili.
It's the sardines that got you.
It does feel nasty though.
Hey, high five in the box. Thank you for being on board with friends. Blah. So smelly. Is that the sardines? Thank you so
It
much.
smells awful, dude. It's terrible.
Do you guys smell that? Casey, smell it. Clover, smell it. Put your face there and smell it.
Yeah, be careful.